So it's really not very fashion. So they were not just putting homes. Yeah. So and we all know some the other factors, the family incomes and the environmental impacts, the social traits, the family controls of the younger people's consumptions compared with of the peers. That's the main factor. That's how to influence the teenagers spending money. Maybe I want to talk about the after the pandemic. After pandemic, people's consumption attitudes to the consumers' behaviors and other accept the change. According to the reports, the consumers are now more eager for the sense of physicals and naturals belong that the century and the ownership and the more in all of the meaning of life. They are more inclined to choose products that provide safe, healthy, and high quality, and sustainable products and the service when the consumer when they consume. One of the built fashion work, not limited by the time and the sense. That report found that more 70% are from the first ties and the new ties cities and professionals who need to work for a long time, such as clericals, administration, personal, are more eager to grasp and the fragment sense and the exercise. Amongst that, 75% are from the first ties and new ties, city and middle age women from the 35 to 45 buy more comfortable clothing that then can move anytime, anyways. For people eager to in the long-term shifts work, they need to balance their fashion-paced work pressures, improving staff health is particularly strong. Longing from the sense of belongings, real social experiments cannot be in place. The report showed that 81% of younger men aged from 18 to 26 from the third and the first time cities hope to meet with new relatives and friends, all often after epidemic, and tend to go to the physical stores to experiments to produce details with some great service. Like in the pandemic, there was so many people must to stay at home. That cannot to go outside. So then there's no way for them to go out to have a shoppings or to go with their friends to go to a restaurant to have a lunch to have a dinner to celebrate something. The government try to let the citizens just stay at home to keep health. So that's maybe them. So most of the young men will spend the time on the website to look for what they need. That was just to maybe just like in China, so many young men will look at the Taobao to buy what they need. Then so that's why after the pandemic, people would like to use the money online. And also, since the pandemic, many people lose their jobs and have no source of incomes. That's a really great problem. That makes a lot of people cannot get a comfortable lives. Like someone would not to save the money, so they just don't have a place to live. So that's a really important part. and since young men stay at home, then cannot to go to school for studies, so then will spend more time on the computer games. So like on the computer game, we can see there are lots of advertisements what you try to make the teenager to buy for them, just to buy some equipment and to make them stronger in the games. So that's why they become to spend more money in the online games. And obviously we people need to survive, that need to eat food. So that's why the consumption of the food has not descended. Just like them cannot go out, so then the most of the countries, the country's consumption was descent. Also, right now, so I'm not sure institution how to express the correct values. But we all know that teenagers don't have a good hobby to save their money. So teenagers should be develop a hobby to save their money. One to insist on the rational consumption. Rational consumption is the traditional wish of the Chinese national, and it's a concentrate expression in the inhabitants. The Chinese nation find the traditional of the hard work. Simply cite the served rational consumptions with the means within your means as the core requires the young people to refrain from the comparing consumers, psychological and hedonic consumptions, tendencies in the consumption pressures, grasp the degree of consumptions, achieve the planet, the city life, and the responsible consumption, and cultivates the pragmatic and appropriate consumptions. Finally, the second is to incite the healthy consumption. At the present, the proportions of the sub-healthy amongst young people has increased. That's closely relating to the young people's of healthy consumption behavior, such as excessive the performance from the snacks and the beverage and the formative fast food consumptions, indulging in the internet coffee, the catching up with the fashions and lasting from the specials, the consumptions, such as the ceremonies enjoyment. It is not conducive to the physical and the mental health of the young people. It's not just like to the healthier consumption is to take the physical and mental health as the core of the growth of young people to build a healthy consumption concept and to help them to realizing their own development needs. The third is to incide on the great consumption, with the core concepts of the great consumption it needs to appear to the basic national policy and save the resource and protecting the environment. Cultivate the young men to actively respond and practically the principle and policy of the party and the countries is the fundamental content of the values education that must be granted to satisfy in the daily necessities and consumption. Development is the original choice of greens. So that's why we need to build the creative values. just like the people need to people should not people should reduce to spend their money on the unnecessary things like like you just maybe just someone give you some unnecessary suggest that you make you just make a decision to buy something. So you must to stop that. Just not just follow your heart. Just do not to follow. Do not follow the others' mind. So thanks for your watching my speech. See you last time.